Good morning, darlings. Happy Friday morning to you. I'm so loving what God is unfolding through his text out of John 4 this week, and I'm loving being with you and uncovering it, and I've uncovered things even that I hadn't considered even in this text before, and I hope that you are too. And yesterday when we left it, we were kind of starting to see a peek into what the Samaritan woman was doing and how she was about to enter into the scene. And next week we're going to uncover everything that she goes through with Jesus to find complete and total healing, and is set on this course that is so phenomenal. But before we do, today, I just wanted to do today in expressing to you that I have felt what she has felt in regards to just being weary, completely worn out, tried a million other things to make me happy, and nothing is producing the results I'm looking for, which is complete soul satisfaction. And sometimes the earth is just so heavy on me. Whenever I was first starting to study this text, I was going through some very difficult times just in my personal life and just thinking through some different things, and emotionally I felt really weary, and I felt like the earth just kept caking itself on my back. And then whenever I was considering what she would be going through, when it says that she was grabbing her jar and she took her jar to go get water at the well, but she came when nobody was going to be there because she's just sick of seeing people. Sometimes we're just sick of seeing eyeballs look at us a certain way, or maybe they don't mean anything, but because we're so internally messed up, we just don't even want to see the looks. We don't even want to feel the looks. Maybe we don't even make eye contact with people. We can just feel people's piercing eyes looking at us. We can feel just the pulse of our situation. And she has come in a time of day when there is nobody that's going to be there, or supposedly there's nobody that's going to be there. But what she doesn't know is that the darling of heaven is waiting on her, just waiting, praying for her, believing for her, waiting for her. But as she comes, there's that moment that was a defining moment where the earth was just so ginormously heavy on her back. As she grabbed her water jar, you can just imagine a woman in the kitchen. I just feel like that's where I kind of pound out my, frustrations, or pounding on the counter, or just getting things done, cleaning the kitchen, or wiping the counters off, if I'm frustrated, or thinking through things. And you can just imagine her realizing that it was time to go get water, that she'd waited as long as she could possibly wait, and she had to go get water. And she dragged that jar, and you can just imagine her just kind of huffing and puffing and marching her way out that door and just thinking. Or maybe her shoulders were slumped and she didn't have the energy to pound or to be pouting about her situation. Maybe she was so defeated she couldn't even hardly breathe. I've been there too. I know that someone can relate to what she was experiencing in regards to the fact that it was just the end of the line. It's like that end of the emotional line. And when I was thinking about that, I wrote this blog post. It's been nearly a year ago when I wrote it. And it just continues to come up as I read this text. And I wanted to read it to you today. And I want you to consider where you fit in one of these things. There are some days when the earth is just too heavy on me. The dust I was created from cakes onto my flesh and forces my soul to carry a weight that is far too heavy for me. There are places in my heart that were created for experiences and challenges I have yet to see. Places God has yet to reveal. Sometimes I feel them extending themselves toward me. I can see them reaching out towards me, so close I can nearly touch them. And then all at once, without warning, the carrot seems to be jerked back from my face, and the earth, the clay, the fierce crackling of hard dirt slings inside my flesh. Earth splatters itself all over me and my own heart that was only days or moments before so soft, so tender before the view of a loving and affectionate Father. My soul is cemented to unbelief. Unanswered prayers faced with unrelenting opposition to the dreams you are striving for, the life you so desire. Earth. No after no after no, and the mountain seems steeper and steeper, higher and higher. Earth. The long obedience in the same direction, requiring you do most of what you don't love, just for the mere hope of doing just a semblance of what you do love. The earth. Being misunderstood and misrepresented. Earth. The daily grind of the dailiness of life. Earth. sickness, and physical limitations that never seem to heal themselves. Earth. Begging for approval and acceptance with little revelation of either. Earth. Your very own flesh-filled sin of unbelief, mistrust, exceedingly critical, overly edgy, increasingly obsessed with your selfish desires and petty longings, and for me, the worst, cynical. Oh, that God would shake the earth from our hearts, that he would fill our lungs with the song so loud that the quake of earth would shake us to our core to believe in a mighty God that is able. That the shaking would release the bondage of earth so profoundly from our beings that we would be clung to the rock that is immovable and unshakable. That's what she was getting to. As she was walking down that dirty road with that empty jar and her empty soul, she was getting to the rock that was drawing from the Father and that was prepared to draw for her and to give her more than what she thought. Ephesians 3:20, beyond everything we can think or imagine. And one of my best friends and I say, I can imagine some pretty crazy things. So to think that Jesus has it in his heart for even more than we can ever even think or imagine, and he is waiting on us to not just shake a little bit of the earth off of our shoulders, but to crack it wide open, to split it in half, and to heal it from the inside out. And that is what Jesus was waiting to do for this woman. That is what he is waiting to do for you. It says in Isaiah 62, it says that he will not be quiet. He will not be quiet. Just recently, I spoke at an event and I told him, sometimes you're going to have to tell yourself, God's delight is in me. That is what Jesus was waiting to do for this woman. That is what he is waiting to do for you. Isaiah 62:1-4 is some of my favorite scripture, and it says, for Zion's sake, you put your name where it says Zion or Jerusalem. I'm going to put my name. For Carrie's sake, I will not keep silent. And for Carrie's sake, I will not be quiet until her righteousness goes forth as brightness and her salvation as a burning torch. The nations shall see your righteousness and all the kings your glory, and you shall be called by a new name that the mouth of the Lord will give. Jesus was sitting there to give her a new name, a free name. He was there for her. You shall be a crown of beauty in the hand of the Lord. And I am telling you right now, when she was getting there, that is everything that she did not feel. That she was going to be a crown of beauty and a royal diadem in the hand of your God. You shall no more be termed forsaken. We're going to talk about her story, and she felt forsaken. You will not be forsaken. And your land shall no more be termed desolate, but you shall be called, my delight is in her. God's delight is in you, and I cannot wait to uncover more treasures about how God's delight is in you next week. I will see you. I hope you have a beautiful weekend, and we will see you on Monday morning.